friend. Blink.
Coming at you live from Studio One in the Bell Tower at Holy Flame Castle. Escalon Online. Daily recap. Pot.
All right, so are you ready to dive into another Escalon Online deep dive?
Always ready.
Great. Today we're following Fenja as she takes on her mage trial, her Magiaproofen.
Yes, the Magiaproofen.
And this is anything but your average, test of magical abilities.
All right.
This would involve some pretty wild stuff.
Oh, yeah. Buckle up for this one, listeners.
Seriously. We're talking mind-bending mushrooms, a crazy goblin rave, and a whole lot of... Wait, what's even happening?
It's Escalon Online at its best, I'd say. It really shows what sets this server apart.
Right. It's all about that immersive role-playing.
Yeah, you're not just clicking through some pre-programmed, quest line.
Yep.
You're embodying your character, reacting to the unexpected, and creating a story with other players.
Exactly. And Fenja's experience is like the perfect example of that.
Oh, absolutely.
So her journey starts with this strange noise, like almost unbearable.
Unbearable? How?
It just keeps getting louder the further she travels.
Clever use of sound design, I'd say.
Yeah, right? Like the game itself is kind of beckoning her towards something.
It's like a breadcrumb trail.
Yeah.
But an auditory one, drawing her deeper and deeper into the mystery.
And you're like right there with her.
Yeah.
Feeling the tension build with every step.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You're in Fenja's shoes.
Totally. And along the way, she's got to make choices that directly impact her experience.
Okay, like what?
Well, like choosing a forest path over a swamp.
Uh-huh.
Or speculating on what that noise could be.
Interesting. These might seem like small choices.
They do.
But it shows the agency players have in shaping their own, narratives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have you ever agonized over a seemingly small decision in Escalon?
All the time. Happens to the best of us.
I know, right? I get so caught up in the details.
Me too. And hey, let's not forget that encounter with the wild boar.
Oh yeah, the boar?
That wasn't just some random fight thrown in there to make things difficult.
No way.
It was an opportunity for Fenja to really express her character's personality.
Through those me commands.
Exactly, like grumbling about having to barter with old Friedel for that crystal she needs.
Right. It adds so much depth and humor to the experience.
It does. It really does. And then just when that noise couldn't get any more intense...
It seems like it's about to burst your eardrums.
Seriously.
Fenja stumbles upon this hidden cave.
A cave.
Yeah. And that's where things take a really unexpected turn.
Ooh, I love unexpected turns. Tell me more.
So the atmosphere changes completely.
How so?
Well, the air is suddenly warm.
Oh, okay.
There are glowing mushrooms everywhere.
Wow.
Fireflies dancing around like crazy.
That sounds beautiful.
It is. It's like a total sensory feast after that oppressive noise of the forest.
Yeah, I bet. But it also kind of hints at what's to come, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's like foreshadowing the magical and maybe even hallucinatory stuff.
Makes you wonder what those cave fumes are all about.
Oh, they're potent. Let me tell you.
Okay, I'm listening.
Colors become super vivid. The noise fades away and reality itself starts to warp. I'm not kidding. Fenja even gets mesmerized by a firefly that seems to be smiling back at her.
A smiling firefly.
Yeah, it's wild. Think about it for a second.
Okay.
The game mechanics, the player's descriptions, their imagination.
Yeah.
It all comes together to create this super surreal experience.
It's like stepping through the looking glass.
Exactly. And just when you think things can't get any weirder.
It can always get weirder.
Oh, it does. Trust me, music starts pulsing through the cave.
Music.
Deep hypnotic beats, drawing Fenja further in.
Okay, where's this leading?
Until she stumbles upon an underground goblin rave.
You're kidding me? A goblin rave?
I am not.
Yeah.
This is Escalon Online at its finest.
I mean, wow. The sheer absurdity of it all.
Yeah, right.
It really speaks to the freedom and creativity that players have.
And the scene is described in such vivid detail.
Oh, I bet.
Goblins dancing around a burning pillar.
Okay.
A makeshift disco ball casting crazy light patterns.
Uh-huh.
A gnome DJ spinning tunes at this makeshift bar.
This is amazing.
Pure chaotic energy.
I love it. But remember, Fenja's still under the influence of those cave fumes, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So that music, it's got to be hitting her hard.
Oh, it is.
Huh?
Both physically and
She
emotionally.
must be so overwhelmed.
She is totally intrigued, but also wants to escape.
It's like that feeling of wanting to lose yourself in the moment, but also knowing you should probably get out of there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And she tries to push through the crowd. It's like this invisible force is holding her back.
Interesting. How'd they do that?
Clever use of game mechanics.
Yeah.
It guides player actions without taking away that feeling of choice.
I like that. Have you ever felt that way in Escalon?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like the game is subtly nudging you in a certain direction.
Right, even though you technically have the freedom to resist.
Exactly. And then, get this, Fenja's master Hellbrant appears in the crowd.
No way, Hellbrand's at the rave.
He is. And he's not just observing the festivities, he's dancing with wild abandon, exchanging contact info with goblins, like fully embracing the rave atmosphere.
Hold on, what is going on here? Is this part of the trial?
Maybe a shared hallucination.
Or just Hellbrand letting loose on a Friday night?
It's brilliant, right? The absurdity of it all.
It is. It really makes you question what's real and what's not.
Totally.
Yeah.
But even in the midst of all this revelry,
Yeah.
there's this subtle hint of unease.
Oh, what do you mean?
Remember that goblin who resembles Reckon?
Yeah, vaguely.
He's staring intently at Fenja,
Okay.
like really intensely. It kind of disrupts the whole party vibe.
Huh. It makes you wonder if something darker is going on.
Right? Like, is that detail significant?
Possibly. Could it be foreshadowing something to come?
Maybe. And that's when Fenja starts to realize she's being manipulated.
That things aren't what they seem.
Exactly. She desperately needs some clarity.
Doesn't she, though?
And luckily, the gnome bartender, James, seems to have just the thing.
Oh, what's that?
Wake-up powder.
Sounds promising.
Classic solution for any magically induced haze.
Makes sense. But even this seemingly simple antidote, it adds another layer of complexity to the game.
Because it doesn't just make Fenja more alert.
No.
It heightens her other senses too,
Like,
including that infernal noise we talked about earlier.
oof. So regaining control comes with its own set of challenges.
It does. And through this newfound clarity, albeit somewhat painful,
Right.
Fenja remembers her quest for the green crystal.
Yes. The crystal.
But her encounter with James is anything but straightforward.
How so?
His dialogue is super quirky.
Uh-huh.
The payment for the powder is unusual.
Interesting. It's like even the smallest interactions in Escalon can be full of surprises.
They can, and then bam, just when you think you've got things figured out.
What happens?
Fenja's awareness fully returns.
Okay.
And she realizes that James is actually Vandil, another mage.
Whoa. Hold on. James is Vandil.
Yep. And it seems like they have a bit of a complicated relationship.
Oh, boy. Talk about a mood whiplash.
Right. 1 minute, you're sipping fantastical cocktails with a friendly gnome.
Yeah.
The next, you're facing a stern mage with some serious baggage.
And just like that, the rave vanishes,
Goof.
leaving Fenja at the foot of a steep, seemingly endless path.
It's like the trial has shifted gears.
From external obstacles to internal struggles.
Exactly. Poor Fenja can't seem to catch a break.
And to make matters worse,
Yeah.
James, or should we say Vandil,
Right.
continues to taunt her from afar.
Offering more of that wake-up powder as a tempting escape from the challenge ahead.
Classic dilemma, isn't it?
It is. The temptation of escapism versus facing your problems head-on.
Exactly. Fenja has to decide, will she succumb to the allure of the rave and the powder?
Or will she push forward and confront the trial no matter how difficult?
Tough choice.
She's a tough cookie, though. She tries everything.
Like what?
Running, focusing her will.
But that path.
It just stretches on forever like she's trapped in some Iscarian nightmare.
And James's unhelpful advice.
Ugh. Don't even get me started. It just adds to her frustration.
Have you ever felt that way in Escalon?
Totally. Like you just can't seem to make any progress no matter what you do.
I think we've all been there.
And just when you think Fenja's reached peak frustration,
Yeah.
the trial throws another curveball.
Oh no, what now?
She finds herself in a completely different cave face-to-face with another blind gnome.
Another blind no.
It's like the trial is playing with her perceptions,
Testing her sanity.
making her question everything she sees and hears.
And this gnome.
He doesn't offer any easy answers.
He doesn't.
He talks about his own blindness, leaving Fenja to wonder if the real challenge is to see beyond the illusions.
To find her own way without relying on external guidance.
It's a powerful moment of introspection,
It is Fenja's being forced to confront the possibility that she might not have all the answers.
and that the solution she seeks might lie within herself.
That's a tough lesson to learn.
Especially in the middle of a challenging trial.
It's a valuable one, though.
It is, and it's something all Escalon players can relate to.
For sure. Whether we're facing a daunting quest or just trying to figure out our place in this vast virtual world.
There are times when we all feel lost and uncertain.
Absolutely. And that's where the real growth happens.
When we push past the discomfort, embrace the unknown, and trust in our ability to find our own way.
Fenja's dialogue here is so raw.
It is. You can feel her growing panic, her desperation to escape the trial.
The emotional toll it's taking on her.
And that's where we leave her for now, listener.
Hang in balance.
Uncertain of what's real and what's illusion.
Desperately seeking a way forward.
changed.